Hey T-Bone, I thought I would do this golden shot. Can you let me know how my volume is? Somebody in the comments had asked me if I would do the golden shot tutorial. So these guides were pretty spot on, but I thought, why not? And if you look at my screen, you'll see a long red line. I added that today so you can kind of look at the curl. I put that red line in the middle of the ring so you can get an idea of the coloring on the ball and where the curl will be, because that's the key component of this shot. But for those of you who don't know, Golf Clash Kami does the golden shots. The guides are usually pretty spot on, and if you can't find them, just go to golfclashtommy.com/golden shot, and you'll see his video as well as his guide. And I'm going to pull that up onto the screen here. On this guide, it has the circle and the wind direction. You just follow the direction of the arrow as your wind arrow, and you add those spins in. He's got your rings and your wind all set out, as well as pictures of the curl. Um, so you got two different shots here. They're all going to use two right spin, and if it's coming from the left, you're going to need a little bit more curl to keep it into the funnel than or if it's coming from the right, you need more curl than from the left. The spot's always going to be the same. First, you'll take your yellow all the way up to those little red plants right here, the leaves, and your yellow will be just hanging off into the fairway. So let's play our first free one, and I'll see how well this red line I added helps. Welcome, Bilal. Yeah, the guide worked pretty well. I did one account earlier. So we got 5.4. We're coming. First, we're going to find our spot right there. We're going to add our 2 right. This is going to be 0.2 back. 5.4 is going to be 2.7. You always start at the yellow. Pull your 2.7. This is going to be 3/4 ball curl. And if you see that red line is in the middle of my ring, there's our 3/4. Try to hit perfect. So I had a little too much curl there, but it still stayed in for the amber, which is nice. Malibu, Claw, Junglist as usual, and 3 Berserkers. Now I need more Berserkers on this account, so I will buy some extra shots. You have to turn off the overlay to use Google Play, and then turn it back on. So let's take our next one here. We're again going to be doing 3/4 curl. There's our spot. 2 right. I'm just going to give it a click back because we have a little bit of turn. 5.2 is going to be 2.6. So from the yellow, 1, 2, 0.6. And again, there's our curl. And hit perfect. And there's the hole in one. Apache, Viper, Quarterback, Big Dog, Hammerheads, not the best for, thanks D-Bone, our Berserkers, which we need. Let's see if we can get this yellow, and that should give me enough Berserkers to make it through next week. We can save the golden shots for later, I think. So we find our spot. 5.2 from this direction is again going to be 0.2 back. And 5.2 is going to be 2.6. And this is going to be the half ball curl. So a little bit past the dark shadow in the ball. You're always better to err on the side of over curling because another hole in one. The reason you're better to err on the side of over curling, if you do miss, it goes a little bit slower on the right side of the ball, the cup, compared to the left. It can catch a roll on the left. So if you're somebody who doesn't buy at the extra golden shots, it will help you. So we've only got the aqua and the cobalt left. Those aren't really worth spending a shot on. Does anybody know if you get to keep those ones you bought to the next week if you don't use them? Yeah. We'll do one medium one. These all set up from the same spot. 3.8, so it's all going to be from the +1 with the blue ring. And from this direction, we're looking at 3.8 back, 0.5 right. And 3.8 is going to be 2.3. So if I bought them, I have to spend them, and that's tough. Okay. Well, this one's worth the little bit of $1 to hit the hole in one on this one, just so I can get a set of Kingmakers, because that's about 650 gems worth of Kingmakers. We'll go back to this one and play this one again. I'll run. So we got a headwind this time. There's our spot. We're looking at 2.8 back, 0.5 left. Oh, wait a minute, I got the wrong guide up. One top, two right. And 6.1 is going to be 3.1. And that's going to be the half ball. Again, just past the shadow. And hit perfect. So the guide is pretty spot on. It's 3 hole-in-ones on this one and the hole-in-one on the other one. I agree, T-Bone. It's a pretty money golden shot. Get one epic card and one berserker. Yeah, it's just not worth it. And if I don't get to keep them, I go to this one. At least you can use them back and forth on these if you don't get to keep them. I've never bought the 5-pack before. So from the +1, we're going to be doing 3 back, 1 right. 3.7 is 2.2. That one must have been a little bit more of a tail. I should have bumped that up to about 3.1, 3.2. It wasn't direct side. And let's play this last one in here. So 0.5 right, 3.8 back. Let's lower that since it's not direct at that angle. 3.6 is going to be 2.2. We hit great there, but we're not going for the hole in one. Just trying to get down there to the center, but we get the hole in one anyway. This hole does have a funnel on it, so as long as you have your speed right, you'll be close. Um, I'll probably do the mini. I don't know how much time I will spend on it. On my main page, I posted all of the second tee Drew Moore Links shots from the previous tournament. So if you want to watch those to kind of study up and get an idea of the elevations and the adjustments without having to spend any practice tokens practicing beforehand. Uh, Apox as the main one. Good evening, fam. You just back just in time. My tablet just finished restarting. All right, back to it. So we got the 3 hole-in-ones with the first account and the 2 hole-in-ones on the other shot. So we got 5.4, we got mostly tail. So we're going to find our spot here. Touching the leaves, green, the yellow just off. This is going to be 0.5 back to right. And it's going to be the half ball curl. 5.4 is 2.7. Again, starting at the edge of the yellow. 2.7. Curling. The black just past the middle of the ring. Oh, come on. My tablet paused my screen to tell me that my software had been updated. Go figure. All right, let's go ahead and purchase one to replace that one. Yeah, it's a waste when something like that happens. I'd be mad if it cost more than $1. All right, so there's our spot, 5.7. So we're going to be in a 3/4 turn this time. We're going to go one top, two right. 5.7 is going to be 2.9. So starting at the yellow, 2.9. 3/4 curl. So like I said, the black to about the edge of the ring. Slight great left that time. We're going to pull up short. Let's see how many. Oh, we got some APOCs. Little reward for getting screwed over on that one. So is the red line that I put on there helping you guys kind of see where the middle is for the curl amount? So finding our spot, to right. This is 0.2 back to 1. We're going to go with 0.1 back. 6.1, we're going to have to push this. It's going to be 3.1. This is a tough wind because it's more of a headwind, but it's not enough of the headwind for the one top. And now I can't hit perfect. So we're going to come up short again. This golden shot is more forgiving. I'm not making it look like it is. Uh, the first few shots, if you roll back, you can see I had it on, but I'm doing something wrong on this one. If I didn't need the Berserkers, I wouldn't be buying anymore and just move on to the next account. So we're going to go 3/4 again. So one top, two right. Find our spot there. 6.7 is going to be 3.4. So 1, 2, 3.4. The 3/4 curl. And I don't know what just happened there. It just kicked me out of that golden shot. It says I have one shot remaining. That was weird. This is all kinds of acting up now. Okay, find our spot. One top, two right. 6.5 is going to be 3.3. Three quarters again. Unable to connect with server. Yeah, that's really weird. Let's just switch accounts. Clearly my internet is working fine as I'm streaming. Just love how it lets me release the ball. before it gives me the error. Wrong one. PD does that when I have a hole in one come. And maybe let's buy one for this account. $5.4. So we're going to find our spot. And that's going to be 0.2 back, 2 right. 5.4 is going to be 2.7. 2.7. This is going to be the half ball, which, like I said, is the black on the ball, just a little bit past the middle of the ring. Now we hit perfect. And we didn't curl enough. We could tell from the speed roll. Yeah, I've not really ever had it happen before, so it's interesting that it happened. Then, of course, we get the speed roll on that one. When I know I didn't set, I'm pretty sure I didn't set anything up wrong on that. But it looked like it went a little long. All right, 6.1. So we got our spot. 0.2 back, 2 right. 6.1 is going to be 3.1. Half ball of curl. Yeah, you hit that transition, which is always a possibility, and you'll get that roll. So there's the hole in one. Allow me to move on to the next account. Golden Shots is about the only thing I buy on here because I need the Berserkers. Thanks for the boom, fam. All right, so let's exit out of this one. I have 15 Berserkers. That should carry me through the next tournament. All right, T-Bone. Good luck when you do yours. Hopefully you don't get the mistakes that I just had. I usually buy one extra golden shot per account, unless it's just a ridiculously hard one, fam. Um, just because I have to keep the Berserkers up, because with the lower club, sometimes you really need them. And with the Send It wins we've been getting lately, they kind of force you to need Power 5 balls. All right. So we got 5.7. Let's find our first thing you do is find your spot. Yellow almost to the leaves, just onto the fairway. That's going to be 0.2 back, 2 right. 5.7 is going to be 2.9. Tree's in the way, so we got to zoom out. .9. This is going to be the 3/4 curl. Yeah, perfect. That's going to stop short. You can tell based off of the second bounce. Why? Who knows? And I'm pretty sure in this one I have plenty of berserkers. I might buy one more just because, yeah, because it's such a good chance at the hole in one. All right, so again, find our spot. That's going to be 1 top, 2 right. We're going to need to push here. 6 is 3 rings. And again, this is going to be half ball curl. Such a money one, and I've found a way to mess it up multiple times since nailing the hole in one 3 times in a row with the first account and the restart of the tablet. You weren't in here, fam, but my tablet decided it was time for a software update in the middle of this string. So 1 top, 2 right, 6.4 is going to be 3.2. There we go. That's a hole in one, so we can move on to the next one. Yeah, I was on a roll. I was nailing them, and then it popped up and said time for a software update, and I tried to schedule it for later. We got some Thor's hammers on that one, and it decided it was going to do it right then and there. Thanks for the BAM. Let's see now that this one restarts if it'll let me take that shot that it wouldn't let me take earlier. Clearly, it says I took it and I got a hole in one. I have no clue what we got for the reward. Not in my news. And we've got the Berserkers in there, so the disconnect one gave us a hole in one. Super weird. All right. Okay, well, that's all of the golden shots. Yeah, I'll take the hole in one. It was T-Bone earlier who said that means you had a hole in one coming when it does that. So apparently we lined up everything and got the hole in one. Um, the pro account I ended up fourth due to tiebreakers. Uh, the one where I made the mistake on 18, thinking I was in practice and got the birdie, and that single stroke cost us gold. Um, I had some top tens and all the way down to like 30th. I had a minus 34 that was 30th, 37th. You know, tier three was really tough. So, I mean, you know, you spend all that, you get a minus 34, and all you get is 20 Kingslayers and 5 Zerks. Not a very productive tournament for tier three. How did you end up? Yeah, tier three was, I mean, there were just some ridiculous scores in tier three. And, you know, the rewards for tier three are just, you know, they're so much lower. It's kind of ridiculous. Auto release issues. Those, let's see, did I have, I had a couple on the pro account in the opening round, but not any really after that. It kind of comes and goes sometimes. I have to always make sure that I don't have my touchscreen sensitivity turned up too high and that my tablet's on a solid surface because if it moves, you know, sometimes I'll just barely lift my finger and it'll release. Or if, you know, I get distracted, sometimes I get the releases. And it's kind of hard to keep on playing after you get one. Thank you, Chad. It's very nice to hear. We're just goofing around now. We did all of our golden shots. Did a lot better before my tablet restarted. So this shot is almost always a no movement. Even when you're already at max, you know, I still do a no movement. And I just add top spin. Normally you do two. And I just add a little bit more top spin and I'll give it about a ring of OP. Yeah, I definitely need to do some account maintenance. I don't, Monday, Tuesday, I don't put in a lot of playing just because I'm so tired from the tournament. And as you can see, I had no chest in this account. So I generally get most of my playing in on Wednesday and Thursday. Usually do 4 top, 1 left. I usually try to set up around 70% club, which is the +0, or the 75, the +2, and I'll spin it depending on the wind. In headwind here, I'll take it until it goes through the cup, and side wind I'll offset. There's the +2. There's the one left. We'll see where, bam, 4 top will make us pull way back to where I have no clue where the slider is. So I'm going to go with 2 top, 1 left. I'm going to set up on the left side of the pin. 8.2 is going to be 8.7. Don't really have to worry about dropping too much here, as our opponent's in trouble. Thanks, GB. So the +2, and a long time ago, I found a series of slider charts. Let me go ahead and pull up my last set of notes. And put them up on the screen here. It's right, it's a power 3 ball, the +2 is, and I have a Titan in. It looks like we get to go to shootout. No need for adjustment here. My timing is off right now. Okay. I'm working on a new guide layout. Clean mine up a little bit. So if you look at my notes and any of the ones that I posted, you will find these slider charts. So 11.6. I'll go up here. %, on this one. It's going to be 13.6. All right, so as you can see here from what I pulled up, these are slider charts for some of the more common clubs that needed a half ball curl. I didn't give it enough in that wind. So if I go to Sniper 10, you have your standard rings of 0 to 75%, and you can see 7.9 rings is 75%, and then a P3 that's been broken down to leave you at the +2. So if you look at a lot of my notes from my sliders I have, you'll see that little slider with the 0, 1, 2, all the way up to 100%, and +2 is 75, 0 is 70 with the P3. Now if we had a P1, we can break this down again, start at max, and count back to 7.9 rings from max, and that's going to be our 75%. So what does everyone think? There's that one. What does everyone think about this layout I'm trying out for the next tournament? Putting the drive on the top and the approach on the bottom. Yeah, here's the, I have these slider charts, the 0 to 25 and the 75 to 100. And then I have a couple of the plus yardage ones. Thanks for the feedback, GB. I'm thinking this might work a little better. So sometimes I feel like it might be confusing when I have two sets of spins for the two shots next to each other. So I always start with one of these blanks every tournament, and I sit down and I play my shots and I make all of my notes here. And then once I have my shot done, I make the video and I take screen captures from the video to put the pictures in for everybody. And then once I run through my round, I just reuse the same notes for the next round and kind of do it over top of it. But yeah, it's just something I'm playing with. Cleaned up my logo also. The last one was kind of blurry. But these notes also have, if you look at the bottom, 13.3 is going to be 10.4. Let's, if I can pull this with, no, I'm going to have to lay up. I hate this hole. This is one of my least favorite holes. Because even with the layup, you can't reach in certain winds. But if you look on each of the notes, you'll see these basic slice charts, and it's just kind of a starting point of the slice for each one. Um, Maple Bay second shot, I'm actually at 90% generally. Or if you're talking about the rough bump. Yeah, I had one for P5 also, but I don't know where I have it right now. Where's our opponent? So our opponent didn't clear, so I'm going to do something in case you guys ever get in trouble with a bad wind. This is kind of a funny little thing to do on this hole. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but it's almost always better than setting up short. But if you just bounce it off of that wall, you almost always roll to the fairway right there. So sometimes on shots GB, um, I don't use a direct, I use the slider numbers that kind of work. So if I have an elevation and an adjustment and I'm just barely missing, the easiest thing for me to tweak is the slider because I can, tell somebody to take 2% off of the slider and they can, have the exact same adjustment that's a little more accurate, even if it's not the correct slider. And you'll see, you could have seen that in hole number one, for example. Um, I sat in the first practice and counted all the rings out to make sure of where my club was, and I was using mid club at 331, and I saw some other people using 60% club there, 40% club there, but they were using different elevations. The ones that had the higher club were using lower elevations. It's just manipulating the numbers. If you're not using true club, as long as it works, that's all people really care about. This will be the first time I've ever seen this. If this opponent pulls this off. Oh, no. But yeah, if you ever get headwind and you had to lay up, and on that second shot you have headwind, it's a lot easier to just blast it and come off that wall, and either be, worst case, you'll be in the bunker of the sand with a very short chip, and it's a lot better than being short on the hill trying to do the rough bump, because the guide compression there is really bad because you're going over the water. So on this one, I normally set up with the guide just right in the middle, max plus 10, 5.1. And we're just looking to get down there so we can use the sniper either in the rough bump or the bounce over. The bounce over plays at +0, if I'm remembering correctly. I haven't played these holes in forever, and I believe it's -5% for the rough bump. And this one has a weird turn to the right, right before the cup. So your ball guide hardly ever shows it. But those are all good questions, GB. Feel free to ask any more. So, going to require overpower to do the rough bump, so I'm not going to worry about it. So we're just going to set up for the bounce over. So you notice this little sticky spot here. So we're going to hit that. Left side of the cup, we're going to go just short of it. I didn't look to see if I was at 70%, but we'll assume I am and go 12.6. Too busy talking, not shooting. Good luck to you, fam, later when you play. If you haven't done your golden shot already, good luck for it. Yeah, I'll be getting off soon here too because I got to get to bed so I can get to work in the morning. The only slice numbers I have compared, GB, is the APOC and the sniper. Um, I use a lower number than the APOC here. For 3 and 4, I start at 16. For 5 and 6, I start at 18. 7, I do use 22. I've never shot an APOC 8, so I don't know if that's correct. Um, and the 28 for the sniper is what I have used in the past. Um, Trying to think of any other clubs I've sliced that are on here. I have sliced the big dog as well with the baby account. I don't remember if that's what I used though. I probably did since I don't have it in my head. Yes, I'm Johnny. Nice to meet you, George. So yes, I'm Johnny in Ballbreakers Clan, and I also have, well, I guess you can see the picture at the top there. Um, a few of my accounts are the Eagles and JR. So you can feel free to call me Johnny, or if you just like saying Ballbreakers Clan, you can do that as well. This YouTube channel started off as just a way for me to put the videos up for the clan. I never meant for it to be as big as it has become. So, and so changing everything would just be a nuisance anyway. Uh, It gets us out of relegation for now. Collect our daily. Let's play one more since it's an easy daily to get. Thanks for the compliment, GB. Chris, you too? Or George? Gotta get you saying George. I try to be as thorough in my explanation as possible, because it helps people understand a little bit more. So on this shot, I played a little differently than most. I don't blast it over in any wind. So I got min plus 20%, which is going to be 6.2. I'm looking to get around, I believe it's 220. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to rough bump with the sniper. Yes, I did used to watch Fenzel, and let's see, it was Fenzel and Golf Clash India and RJ. It's RJ TV. I used to watch them when Fenzel was doing his free guides and when Golf Clash India were doing their free guides. And when there was no more free guides out there, I just kind of, started, I always kind of made my own little guides. Let's see if I can pull up some of my old ones, but they were always just for me. So 7.6 rings is 20%. So we got 20% plus 20. I go through until it starts to hook on the next one. 12.3 at 20% is 12.5. So there's 10, 11, 12.5. Still not hitting perfect, but that'll put us close. Oh, Chris, you do just fine. You hold your own in expert. I mean, it's helpful to have the guides and the notes. Um, I use them myself for my other accounts after I make them on the first ones. It speeds up without having to try to figure out what you're going to do each time. I mean, if you watched me do pro, I'm sitting there and I'm staring at the wind needle before the shot, trying to come up with a plan to try to figure out, will the ball clear the, sand, like on hole number 15 last time. I was like, Titan with a P2 topspin ball might make it across. It didn't. And had I had a guide, I would have known. But, I used to use the guides and I used to make my own notes before I started making them in that way. They weren't very pretty. I hate this one. 40%. 7.1. Mid. 9.1. How does everyone feel about them moving the courses around almost every season now? So, yeah, if I had to do the slide over, it'd be a lot harder. What I used to do, so I'll pull up Curse Swamp here. I believe that's the similar holes that we're going to be using on the next tournament. I haven't looked to see. So what I used to do is build these little sheets for myself. And at the top here, this was a calculator where I could type in my wind and it would calculate from whatever club I'm going to use my wind. And I would sit here with the computer next and I had my note for what my drive was going to be. This was a really old one because it didn't have pictures. I'd have links posted on there for videos. And I sat with my computer and right next to me typing all of this in. And there's a lot of great content out there. Um, and all streamers. I have so much respect for everybody because it's a lot of work, and I didn't think I realized how much work it was. So yeah, here's an example. Um, this was from the last tournament, but this was actually before during the Extreme Hills tournament, and this is a little guide I made for myself where you can see I noted elevations that I tried on each of my accounts, the spins that I did, the wind, the adjustment, and where it ended up. And I had the math worked out where I would type in the wind and hit enter, and it would tell me here with the P3 ball that I needed 9 rings. So I think I ended up on 1 to 1. the second time around. And I still have all of these sheets for whenever I have future tournaments. They kind of give me a basic to start. And I still have, the links to the videos that I watched to get the information. And I'd have drive and slider over here. I'd have my shot information and where it ended up. But as far as producing these for everybody, they're a little clunky. And that's when I started using the layout that Finzel uses because I thought his looked so nice and clean. And I got that layout from one of the times he put out some of the free ones for the Night Sky tournament and the Grand Forest tournament. So, it was a lot of work. The programming of the calculator was a lot of work, a lot of math, but it helped me a lot. It helped me learn, a lot about slider, elevation, ring adjustment, and the underlying math of adjusting all of that. Here's how old this sheet is. That's the T11 and T10 from last time. But I'm gonna get off here and get to bed. Everyone, have a good night. Good luck on your golden shots or any account maintenance and everything you got going. And I'll catch you either for the next tournament or maybe I'll stream one early or late for the mini. Good night.